Why, hello there. Good meowing, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, thank you so much for stopping by, and welcome to tonight's stream. It's time for some more Paradigm Paradox. We finished Izumi's route last night, and I think I possibly should have played that route last, because it certainly revealed, it was certainly an elucidating experience. Oh, blessings. But, you know, it is what it is. And so I have decided, yeah, his route definitely, is probably the quote-unquote true route of the game. But, I did decide who we're gonna do next. We're gonna do Hyuga. We're gonna do, Tsundere Gunboy. Yeah, true. So yeah. I think we're just about to the end of this loop. Yeah, more or less. Alright, so now let's pop over here. Hello, it's me. And now we are, so here's the thing. I didn't bad end us. We did normal end. And, we did that about 3 times. Until I realized that, oh, just like in the, hero route, you're not supposed to make your power good. In the villain route, it's like sync power or whatever, sync amount. You have to have high affection and low everything else. You gotta be dumb as fuck, but they love you. So, we're ready to.
じゃあ始めようか.
Alright, yep. It really is Trophy Wife the game, except we are a human experimentation. Yep. It's our name, Prince Takanashi, and then apparently I had my skip on slow. So we're skipping through all the stuff we've already read at the fucking speed of light now. Okay, we don't need to watch the opening video again. Okay. Wham bam boom. This thing goes like a fucking bullet train now. What? Go to the hallway. Go to the street near school. Go to town. Okay, so it's one of these 3. I'm gonna say Hyuga is probably... Yeah, so these are the, where we'll find Hyuga, Yukinami, and, Ryo. We just have to figure out which one is which. I'm gonna guess town is probably Hyuga. That was the villainous choice. I made it to the financial district, but it's crowded as usual. I can't find anyone here. That guy over there. I saw him yesterday, right? Damn, it's Yukinami. Do. Rewind. We're not here for Yukinami. Go to the street near school. Yeah? It's almost last bell. Most students will be heading home by now. Surely I'll spot the girls leaving too. There it is! There he is. I was like, Ryo's gonna be the one who's like, we meet in the school, because Ryo has connections to the school. Yeah? Oh. Huh? I think I know that hooded guy. He's the guy I ran into yesterday in town. What should I say? What should I do? Should I say hello? Wait, is he coming this way?
Oi.
Also, I confirmed that this guy's voice actor is like Arthur Loosebald or something. Like, it is the most non-Japanese name ever. It's hilarious. Seeing all these very Japanese names. It's something wild. It was something with it started with an L. I'm gonna have to look it up. Paradigm, Paradox, Hyuga, voice actor. Loonsberry. Arthur Loonsberry. I was so close. I had the L and the B. Arthur Loonsberry. Which is not who I would have, not a name I would have expected. Is he in anything else? He's in Sympathy Kiss and he's in Makaioji to Miwaku no Naitome. So a 2018 game, a 2021 game, and then a 2022 game. Interesting. He's also in what? What? He's in Star Mew? I haven't seen Star Mew yet. It's in my to watch list, but oh my god. Okay, yeah, no, he's from California. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, he's half Japanese. That makes a lot of sense now. I don't recognize any of these other names.
Hi, Jigglypuff. I'm doing well.
Yeah, wow. I don't know any of these other... He's in Haikyuu, apparently. In Buddy Complex. Okay, I've heard of some of these, but I've just never seen them. Interesting.
Yes?
Now that I've seen his face, that voice does not match with that face. Whoa. How to get here?
It's a map and the name of a store?
I go there with Lise sometimes. They sell rare spices. Yeah.
Just head west from the Financial District's plaza and then straight. Do you get it? Oh, he's gone.
I wanted to apologize for the other day. Does he even remember? And what does he want from a spice store? Did someone send him on an errand? Yes, actually, he was sent on an errand. He's sent on an errand so he can make good food for the people who live in the Vector colony. All right. Okay.
Hello, Buena.
Next. I'm gonna go out on a limb
and say it's in the street near school again. I think I'd try outside of school, but is there anyone even here?
Yeah, we're on the, basically it's just that we start getting... We're only on the common route.
How did previous route end?
Very oddly. Enough so that I was consistently checking if I actually got the happy end. I did also get the normal end at first. And then got it 2 more times, as I then figured out, no, it works exactly like the hero route, and you have to have high love and nothing else. Yes. Yeah, we finished Izumi's route. He is done. Now we're trying to get Hyuga. But yeah, it was very interesting. It was very interesting. Yeah, also the Villainous Justice route is very short. It's literally 2 things. Yep, Tsundere gunman who cooks. I thought I'd try outside school. Is there even anyone here?
Huh?
It's him again!
I knew it! It's the same guy I bumped into in town.
What?
Oh, you're just an eepy little guy. I've been staying up way too late recently, and it's not gonna be good for me. It's not gonna be good, because I gotta go to work tomorrow. But that's what happens when you start talking with a friend, and then next thing you know, it's 2:30 in the morning, and you're like, shit, one more reply, and then you wake up and you look back and you're like, what the fuck was I even saying? Yeah. Yeah. What? Is he mad about that time I bumped into him? Oh, he's gone. Maybe I ticked him off the other day? Were the directions I gave him no good? I can't go chasing after him. I'll just have to give up on Operation Apology Redo. Well, darn.
Oh, but also, we did get to meet our uncle. He was kind of hot. And he was a good guy. Ah, ha, 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 ha.
What? 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 He was hot. Thank you. Yes, we have to get villainous. He gives our blood. We have to go to the outside world. No, he was not a vector. He actually was a human. And he told us a lot of stuff. Including that... No. Including that, the age gap between Izumi and us, was at least probably about around 10 years. Okay, I recognized his voice actor immediately. I recognized the voice immediately from the email. From when he reads out the email, and then I was like, oh, it's Mori's voice again. Moriogai from Boko Stray Dogs. It's his voice again. Yeah, and I have to say, yeah, I do also have to say, whatever vocal recording company they used for this game is not good, because I've heard that man sound deliciously crisp, like great. And again, it sounded like he was eating the microphone. I was like, I know that this man has done so much voice acting that he would not make a rookie mistake like eating the microphone. So whoever they had do the recordings for this game, not great. Yeah, I don't know. More like I just really like voices. So yeah, I have 4 ears. All the better to hear you with, my dears. All right, we have to go to the outer wall. We have to go say hi to them. Oh yeah, Marble Mouth Man. Yeah, so Beautyshana, there were 2 voices in Beautyshana that I will never forget. It was Marble Mouth Man, and it was the fucking Cookie Monster dude. I'm so upset that Cookie Monster dude happened while I was having audio issues of my own with my microphone, so I didn't sound all that much better. But yeah, Cookie Monster Man and Marble Mouth Man. Like, I know exactly what kind of character Marble Mouth Man was trying to portray. I'm like, hold on, I'm getting these words mixed up. I knew exactly what type of character he was trying to portray, which is the like fat merchant character. It's like that kind of voice, but it's just ear grating. It's fucking ear grating. You have marbles in your goddamn mouth. Spit out the goddamn marbles. So yes, I believe the correct answer is I don't know. Yes. I was correct. Can you have a routine you have for marble mouth voice? I don't know if I can like say words in it. I don't know if I can say words in it. Like it just kind of sounds like I'm like a goldfish underwater. Would you like to buy these? I just make the noises. Yes, that's exactly it. He legitimately has marbles in his mouth. I have to speak to Baravia here. Yeah, I've become a goldfish. Alrighty.
待ってるよ。
Where are we now? Oh, well. It hasn't decided yet. I'm worried about Lise, is what we have to say. That bumps us on the villainous justice route. She was alive. We were all fugitives and had to live in the, Vector colony. She was alive. Yes, she got the injection of anti-vector drugs. Yeah, so she got sick because the vector attacked her, so she had vector genes in her body that were going to turn her into a vector. We gave her the anti-vector drugs. She did not become a vector, and we had to take her away because otherwise the researchers were going to basically do human experimentation on her. And at the end of the route, she was still in the vector place, in the vector colony, because that's where she was gonna have to live basically the rest of her life. Yeah, she got sick tats. She got tattoos. She got natural tattoos. She was stuffing muffins. I don't know. Okay, so here's... I assume I have to do what we did last time, which is attack them head on. I'm not a furry!
Hi, baby.
Okay, so that we live if we attack them head on.
No! No! Where did this come from?
Okay, we have to say I can't save Lise.
リーゼ。君の親友のこと？
My friend, you hurt her.
もちろんそうだよ。君に。
I'll tell you the truth.
あれ
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna drop an actual save here. Because I don't want a bad end, but I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing anymore. Oh no! Oh, that was I thought that was a game. That was a sound in the game. I thought that was Kiki making a weird ass noise. Oh. Oh. We have a choice. We have a choice. We have a choice. Quick save. I'm gonna search town. Moravia, where are you?
I looked all over Theta for Moravia, but I couldn't find hide nor hair of her. The business district was still deserted today, as it had incurred the greatest damage from the vector attack. You know, it might be good to check the outer wall. That's where I saw Moravia last. But right as I turned to put this plan into action, I saw someone across the street. I guess there are other people out besides me. No, wait, that's... Oh, fuck yes, I chose right. A hoodie obscured the person's face, but a sudden gust of wind blew it off, allowing me to see who it was. Hyuga!
Brooms.
There he is. Yeah.
You know. Okay, well, that's where we differ because... Man, I got so much homework. I had so much homework at the beginning. But then again, I was doing a really intensive thing. So I had a meeting every week and I had homework to do every week. And I was like, this sucks. But I did it because I didn't want to be bad. I didn't want to be a bad boy, not do my homework. So I did my homework.
Okay.
Huh? How did you know? Well, debatable, but... I hadn't transformed at all, yet he knew I was part of the blooms. I was so taken aback that I forgot to try and hide it.
聞いたからな。で、ヒーローが俺に何の用だ?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I wasn't doing it in college. I had a friend who who did the exact same thing that I did, and she did it during college, and I'm like, you had college homework and therapy homework? Ugh. Are you planning to attack the people? Wow, I can't read. Are you planning to attack people again? If so, then I was about to gear up for a fight, but then I remembered why I was here in the first place. What right did I have to threaten him when I was trying to find Moravia? No matter how much I hated Hyuga for hurting others, I was in no position to talk right now.
どうした? 戦うんじゃないのか?
Hyuga sounded like he was enjoying this, which made my hackles raise. I can't give up now. I should ask Hyuga about Moravia while I've still got him.
There's a few CGs where it's just, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him. Like, it's just like stare downs. Yeah.
I'm not here to fight. I'm just looking for Moravia. Can you take me to her?
へえ。本当にあいつが言った通りになったな。
That's rude. You mean Moravia? She said I'd come looking for her?
ああ、そうだ。そしてそうなったら、お前を自分のところに連れてくるように、俺と雪並みに命じた。
Well, okay. When the CG is the two of us grimacing at each other. So Moravia knew this would happen. I suddenly started to doubt my own choice in the matter. Is Moravia just manipulating me? Did I actually make the right decision?
どうした? 来ないのか? それならそれで、俺は別に構わない。
I
お前
seriously
がどうなろうと関係ないからな。
my water bottle. I filled it up and then I just left it. So I'll be right back. I gotta go grab that. I was like, where is my... Not here.
We do not need CGs of us vomiting in people's mouths. Honestly, if we never ever see that ever, I would be happy if we never saw that. You want it in a pure way. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Felina. I don't think there is a pure way to see that.
Hyuga started to turn away, so I quickly rid myself of any lingering hesitation. Wait. I want to see Moravia. Where is she?
コロニーの外で落ち合う。ここでは合わせられない。
There we go, there's my water. Soon, however, I will have Gatorade Jello. to imbibe as I stream. Outside? Then we need to go save Lise first. It'll take too long otherwise. Please.
リーゼなあ、お前の友達が害獣化する前に連れ出すとかモラビアが言ってたな。
You know, that sounds like how someone tries to rationalize the Pocky game. We're not kissing, we're just sharing food. And yes, Gatorade Jello. I like the texture of Jello. Drinking stuff is sometimes annoying. Jello is fun and interesting. So I have Gatorade and I have gelatin. And hey, fun Prince fact. Did you know until like mid-September, so about like a month, maybe a month and a half or so ago, I'd never had Gatorade once in my life. I am 25 and I had never had Gatorade before. Add that to the Prince Wiki. I like Jello. Yeah, it's a fun texture. Yeah, I didn't think so, but I guess I've been dehydrated and it tastes good now. That's what I keep hearing. People are like, if it tastes good, like if sports drinks and stuff taste good, that means you're dehydrated and you need it. Yeah. Hyuga's tone was nonchalant, but his words were like a bombshell. I had to make sure I heard him correctly. Did you just say she'll turn into a vector?
なんだ知らないのか。害獣に傷つけられたやつはみんな害獣化する。
Me neither.
お前の友達も例外じゃない。
But the ADHD makes it so that I will forget to hydrate. So not only will I forget shit. Speaking of, sorry. I'll be right back. I yes. I actually have to go get I have to go grab one thing super duper fast. I was like, yeah, the ADHD makes me forget to, you know, hydrate and drink and eat. And it also makes me, ironically enough, forget to take my ADHD medicine. Oh my god, my medicine! I'd forgotten that I had taken my medicine. I usually do it like right before stream or during dinner, and I ate early because of the time change. It fucked me up. So I need to be... Yeah, it makes it really easy to ignore bodily functions. Mm-hmm. It's easy to forget words. And it's easy to say the wrong words. When brain moved too fast for mouth. Alright, here we go. Oh, that's right, we have to learn about this again.
お前はそれを止めるためにモラビアに会おうとしてたんじゃないのか。
Lise will become a vector? There's no way! I don't believe it! Hyuga sighed when he saw me freeze up.
ともかく、お前がついてくると言うなら、俺がモラビアに連絡をつけて、お前の友達を助ける手はずになってる。
Yeah.
確かだ。
If following Hyuga will save Lise, then there's no reason to hesitate. You mean like that time that you didn't say he's not like other bears? And Felina was like, why didn't you say that? And, you were like, oh, shoot. And I just thought you did it on purpose. I was like, man, stuck out here subverting expectations. So I think it works on both Felina and me. I still can't believe she'll turn into a vector, but if it's true, there's no time to lose. Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll go with you. Take me to Moravia, and please help Lise.
やっぱりそうなるか。
Yeah, what else am I supposed to do? Am I seriously out of water now? Okay, I'll deal with that later. Hyuga didn't seem to care one iota what I did. He drew out his cell phone to make a call.
モラビア、お前の言った通りになったぜ。俺はこれからこいつを連れて行く。なあ、わかった。
わかった。Ugh. Goodness gracious. Sorry. I thought someone sent me something. It was not intended for me.
モラビアは先にお前の友達を助けてくるそうだ。よかったな。
Hyuga flashed me a cold smile, further making me doubt my decision. But I have to go. I chose to do this after all. My own decisions, Lise's safety, the fact that I'm going with the enemy, it's a lot to consider. But I can't stay stuck in the same place. Little by little, I began to relax. There's no turning back. I've made my choice and I have to keep moving forward. Follow me, Hyuga said a split second before he ran off. Didn't seem like he was very interested in guiding me. Yeah. I hurried after Hyuga so I wouldn't be left behind. I quickly transformed as we left the colony. Love, hello! It's good to see you! How you doing? We agreed to meet up with Moravia here, but it doesn't seem like anyone's coming. Is she really gonna show up? Oh, I feel ya. I decided I had no choice but to go with Hyuga, but I became more and more worried as we stood in complete silence.
Huh?
He didn't even try to mask his hostility. I felt myself start to tremble. No, I've got to toughen up. I can't just shrink away because he snapped at me. I tried to pull myself together, resolving not to be intimidated again. Are they really gonna bring Lise here?
疑り深いな。信用できないなら帰ったって構わないんだぜ。
Wow. Guys, don't freak to me. I already have, I'm still looking for the instrumental for Phantom's song. How much is that in head pats? Considering that head pats are 100, that's 170 head pats. No. Yes. 17. No. 170. Okay, I'm losing my brain. 170. Also, you're gonna make me freaking get up and get water again. Okay, math, yes. Get water. I am applesauce. I was about to say I haven't done math in 2 weeks, and then I was like, actually no. I did do math. I did do math. One of the first things I did on my vacation was my personal bookkeeping, so I did, yes. Thank you for the cat pics. Thank you for the kitty pictures.
俺はお前がついてくるって言うから連れてきてやっただけだ。
Fine. There was nothing more to say, so I clammed up.
Now that I've allied with Vector sympathizers with Hyuga, I can't go back to Theta anymore. Theta was full of security cameras after all. No doubt there was already tons of footage of me fleeing alongside Hyuga. Anyone who viewed those recordings would logically conclude that I was now an enemy of Theta. Anyone who viewed those recordings. Even if they didn't think that, I still can't ever go home. Not after I decided to accept their help. Yes, this is. We're on our... God, what route is this? This is the 6th route. We're on Route 6. Route 6 of this game. Okay, well, Baldur's Gate happened. Baldur's Gate happened, and 89 hours went into that. We just now finished the route that we started playing in August, I think. And now we finished that yesterday. We took a detour through 3 gates. Old Baldur's. Fuck Balduran. Fuck Balduran. And not like in the good way. I'm really glad I didn't bang him. Yeah, he's a manipulative asshole. Okay. I stuck a peek at Hyuga. His eyes avoided mine, but from a glance, I could see he was as grumpy and bad-tempered as always. He exudes such nasty energy. I'm worried I'll make him mad if I breathe too loud. Yeah. Hyuga was looking off in the distance. I followed his gaze. Someone was walking up to us from afar, something very important in their arms. Yeah? Can you sleep with the dragon? I thought the dragon was dead. I mean, that's if you're gonna do that, that's your own prerogative. But also, hey, look, Rio's bringing out Lise. Lise! I didn't even register the fact she was being carried. Yeah, but if you raise dead, can they fuck? Like, they don't have flowing blood. So... As soon as I saw it was her, I ran over. Lise! Up close, I could see that Lise was pale, limp, and unconscious. Fear gripped me. Lise! Wake up, Lise!
取り乱すな。お友達は薬で眠っているだけだ。
Yeah. That's when I first noticed who was holding Lise. It was someone I knew. Ryo Tomitsuka. I wish the dragon was alive so I could fuck it. Like, what? Real? He was the last person I expected to run into. Everything was happening so fast, I was frazzled. Then my eyes flew wide open when I noticed someone else was with him. I think it requires blood flowing and like bodily fluid flowing for a hole to be self-lubricating. If you don't have blood, I don't think you could create other fluids. I'm pretty certain most other things are like blood adjacent. Like I was reading somewhere like oh god. Hi, Holly. Leave. You don't want to hear this conversation. I love you. You can stay. But yeah, like breast milk is just like blood light or something if I remember what I read correctly. Yeah. Fun facts with Prince.
僕もいるよ。お待たせ。
Ah, she uses boku. Interesting. Actually, it's Felina, but yes. Huh? What? Why? Now I was beyond confused. Ryo supported the Blooms. What the heck was he doing with the anime? What is Ryo doing here?
まあ、いろいろと事情がな。
clear he wasn't about to explain, then something occurred to me. What occurred to me? Oh, I was like, oh. No, you brought up holes first. Oh, no. No, actually, I'm sorry, Felina. Zetetica did bring up holes first. My apologies. So Magic Girl is Izumi, and they are not bad. They're just on a different moral playing field. We need to stop falling for Zetetica's lies. The dead guy is more accepting. The gaslighty whitey bitch. Yeah, I mean, true. What about protective gear for Lise and Ryo? They can't be outside without something.
問題ないから気にするな。
I think there is an issue. Why was he so confident? It wasn't as if he could endure the environment like the Vectors. Ryo added that Lise would be fine outside too. Honestly though, was I supposed to give him a thumbs up and say, cool? Why is it an issue? Ryo rolled his eyes at my persistence.
お前は質問ばかりだな。
Shut the fuck up. So he says, but it'd be much weirder for me to accept all this without asking questions. Class of 09. I have not. Is it a game? It's a show. Oh. Oh, it's a voice. Oh, visual novel. Oh my god. It's an anti-visual novel. Wow. That's wild. Lightning! That is wild. I have not seen that. I will have to check that out. Gotcha. I looked at Lise again, slumped in his arms. I needed answers to about a million things, but I had to know about Lise's welfare first. Then at least let me ask this. Where did you find Lise? If Riel was the one who brought her here, well, that gave me a bad feeling. Gotcha. Gotcha.
研究エリアの立ち入り禁止区域だ。
What does that mean?
おい、いい加減ここから離れようぜ。
God.
そうだね。話は後にしよう。
Okay. I knew they were right. Our first priority was to get Lise somewhere safe. There wasn't time for me to hold everyone up with questions.
さあ行こう。ついてきて。
I ignored the bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. Right now, I had no choice but to follow them. I walked forward slowly, following behind Moravia. Oh, excuse me. We walked for a long time. Soon, we were a considerable distance from Theta. Hyuga was carrying Lise now. He'd switched with Ryo some time ago. I looked at Hyuga's back as he walked ahead of me. Is it okay for Hyuga to carry Lise? He agreed when Moravia told him to take over, but if he manhandles Lise...
心配？
Oh god. I don't think I was... I think well, Facebook was taking over when I was in middle school. I don't remember. I don't think I ever heard anybody talking about MySpace. Look. Look. Yeah. Gotcha. But like, look. I was born in the year that I think Majora's Mask came out.
is I think it is. I think because that one was 98. 98. I'm a 98 baby. Ocarina of Time. That was the one I was about to say, and then I was like, no, it's not that one. Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Moravia suddenly slid up beside me.
僕がリーゼを運ぶように言ったんだから、ヒューガに任せておけば大丈夫だよ。
I placed my hands on my cheeks, surprised at how easily Moravia had pinpointed my concern. Was it that obvious?
かなり。
Thanks. She didn't even hesitate to say that. I really need to work on my poker face. Yeah, Tumblr taught me gender. I heaved a stealthy sigh, pulled myself together, and looked around. I've never been this far from Theta before. I feel like we could walk forever and never truly get anywhere. I had no idea the outside world was so big. It's kind of frightening. Okay, I'm gonna drop a save. Yep, we're on Hyuga's route. Yay! That is a very light baby. Is his route shorter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. It is! 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Kamui's route is longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, no, I miscounted. God. Okay, that's wild. I was like, there's no way they made his route shorter when all the others have been about the same, right? Yeah, it really is. Well, no, they all have different numbers written on them. Yeah.
どうしたの？疲れた？
Oh no, I'm fine, just spacing out, that's all. I gave my head a shake and focused on walking. A few more hours passed when I finally saw something on the horizon. It looked like a huge colony. What's that?
あれはタウ。僕たちのコロニーだよ。
I couldn't hide my surprise. What? You live in a colony too?
もちろんだよ。生きていればどこかに住むのは当たり前でしょ。
Oh, yeah, right. Dumb question. Sorry. Moravia and her crew were so ethereal. I guess I never even entertained the idea of them settling down somewhere. But it was a weird thing to ask.
あのコロニーはかつて人間が暮らしていたけど、もう廃墟になってからずいぶん経っている。そこを僕たちの住処にしているんだ。
Yeah, she literally is just Prince Knife.
もともとの浄水、
Yeah.
排水システムや発電システムなんかも生きているし、結構不便なく暮らせるよ。
I see. It almost sounds comfortable.
おい、モラビア。
Hyuga took a break from being silent and sullen to interrupt our conversation.
こいつにどこまで教えるつもりなんだよ。
Rude. Hyuga freed a hand and jerked his thumb in my direction. Yeah, by her, he clearly meant me.
すべてそのために連れてきたようなものだよ。
As I listened to them talk, I remembered something Moravia said before.
君はまだ何も知らない。
Yeah.
そのままじゃ誰も救うことはできないよ。
True, we don't know anything about the CRISPR babies or about our parents or about the human experimentation or any of that stuff. Majora. Majora. Iko. It didn't make sense at the time, but no doubt Moravia was right. That's why Lise ended up like this. I looked at Lise. She was silent and pale in Hyuga's arms. I knew I needed to know everything. I'll listen to whatever you want to tell me. Please explain everything. About the vectors, too.
いいよ。それなら早くタウに向かおうか。
Moravia smiled. She was clearly pleased with my enthusiasm to learn the truth.
ようこそ、僕たちの住処へ。
This is... As soon as I walked into the colony, I could tell it was in shambles, especially compared to Theta, but I can see more than a few buildings look like they're well maintained. Moravia said the water and power still worked, and there were certainly habitable spots. As I continued to take in my new surroundings,
あ、いたいた。
Yukinami called out to us and came trotting up.
もうなんで僕を置いてくの？
ごめんごめん。雪並みは姿が見えなかったから
This
置い
is
てい
some
た。
upbeat music.
それに、君なら一人でも大丈夫だと思ってさ。
Good. Okay.
だからってシータに置いて帰っちゃうかな。まあ確かに僕一人でも大丈夫なんだけどさ。
They hired a DJ to invite us in.
たく、お前が話も聞かずに勝手に飛び出してったんだろうが。いつも言ってるが、人の話はちゃんと聞け。
ヒューガはすぐお説教する。
お前が危なっかしいからだろ。
I initially thought their banter was pretty funny. Oh my god. Majora, that's rude. I initially thought their banter was pretty funny, but then Hyuga seemed to get honestly mad. I cowered behind Ryo.
何やってんだお前。
Oh, I'm sorry. Finally, Yukinami seemed to notice that Hyuga was carrying Lise. He grinned.
あれ？っていうか、ヒューガが抱えてるのってもしかして人間？え、人さらい？
You kidnap it?
ちげえよ。何とんでもねえ濡れ衣着せようとしてんだ。
Hyuga's like, you fucking idiot. My jaw unhinged and my eyes bulged as I watched Yukinami and Hyuga tear into each other.
はいはい。二人ともその辺にして。彼女もびっくりしてるから。
What?
ちげえよ。何とんでもねえ濡れ衣着せようとしてんだ。
彼女
Oh. Yeah, is it a human? Yeah. Yeah, he said it. Yep. Yukinami finally took a good look in my direction. His eyes widened when he saw me.
なんで君がここにいるの？
Yeah, she is in the process of vectorization, I believe, still. Well, a lot's happened. Long story short, Moravia brought me here. My explanation only confused Yukinami more.
いろいろって？君ってブルームズだったよね。
Yeah.
僕たちと一緒にいていいの？
No. Yukinami wasn't trying to accuse me of anything. He was honestly just baffled as to why I was here. I began to stammer guiltily, unsure of what to say. Oh my god. This is not the music I would expect for a conversation. I don't...
雪並、聞くのはそこまでだよ。
I breathed a small sigh of relief when Moravia put a stop to Yukinami's barrage of questions.
僕たちと一緒にいていいのかは、これから彼女が決めることだ。
I don't know.
せかしちゃいけないよ。
モラビアがそう言うなら分かったけど、なんかめんどくさいの。ああ、シータで遊んできたら疲れちゃった。僕は適当に昼寝でもしてるね。
With that, Yukinami turned and walked off. Moravia and the others watched him go, clearly familiar with Yukinami's erratic moods. They returned to the matter at hand.
りょう、早速だけど、彼女を案内してあげて。
Oh, yay.
ヒューガ、
Oh, that's right. Okay, Ryo's showing us around. Okay, that's better.
なあ。
Yeah.
じゃあ僕もこれで。またね。
Oh, because I forgot to put it in. Wolf, we have a Discord now. We have a Discord now. It's update only, but it exists. I don't have it as part of the rotating options for some of the stuff that otome can post every so often. Yeah! It's just update only, but you can get pinged when I go live and pinged when I post polls and stuff. Yeah, you can vote on polls. I talk about special stuff. I'll be possibly sharing some special stuff that you won't get to see unless you're in the Discord. There's also like clip pings and stuff. All sorts of fun stuff. Moravia then waved and walked off somewhere. Yeah, one day you'll get a Kiki photo. Lise didn't even move a muscle when she was handed over to Rio. She was limp as a blanket. I felt another wave of worry wash over me. She never even stirred once on the trip here. And she's so pale. Something isn't right. Is Lise going to be okay? Will she ever wake up? I couldn't help blurting my worries to Rio. Hyuga turned to him and spoke.
Oi, omae. 抗体はちゃんと打ったんだろうな。
ああ、シータを出る前にな。
Antibody? Hyuga smirked as I repeated the unfamiliar word. Monster. People who are attacked by vectors become vectors. Or so I've heard. Was it really true? So that shot you're talking about. Yeah, dead weight is extremely difficult to move. It'll keep Lise from becoming a vector? Hope rose inside me, but Rio shook his head.
その答えは半分イエスだが半分はノーだ。
What? 半分 yes! 半分 no だが。これは英語じゃない。これは日本語じゃない。これは新しい語。Yeah.
Pretty, yeah, that's clear.
意志のない害獣になるのは食い止めたが、もう普通の人間でもない。
俺たちと同じだな。
Like you? Like them? Is that why Lise wasn't affected by the bad air outside the colonies? But Hyuga was done talking. He walked off wearing his usual scowl. Are Hyuga, Moravia, and Yukinami partially vectors too? Just like Lise? Well, Moravia, we know, is a genetically modified human being. A CRISPR baby, if you will. Just like us. Well, we were born of CRISPR babies, so we're like a second-generation CRISPR baby. If that was the case, I understood why Hyuga laid on the sarcasm when he said monster. But I'll sort that out later. For now, Lise is my top priority. Oh, I said it's not English, it's not Japanese. This is a new language. 半分日本語、半分英語。そして新しい語。でもねえ、実は私計算の話を見ていた。計算に話したいと思っている。でも僕の日本語は悪い。勉強した5年前に。Yeah. Oh yeah. So
I'd love to be able to communicate. Gotta chill out back into my studies. Ugh. I gotta get back into my studies, and that's part of what's keeping me is the kanji. It's part of what's keeping me is kanji. I know I should just like dive in and like read stuff and just have a dictionary open next to me the entire time. And, like that'll get me pretty okay, but it's rough. I don't have time. I'm not good at self-study. I'm not all that good at self-study. Kinda need the structure.
案内する。ついてこい。
Alright. Rio led me to a building that was in comparatively good shape. It had the look of a place that was regularly maintained by someone. The inside was even nicer. The building was stocked with all the amenities a person could need. Rio entered one of the many available rooms and laid Lise down on the bed inside.
しばらくすれば目を覚ますだろう。心配するな。
Well, they're not gonna draw a whole new background. Yeah. Rio's words put my mind at ease.
それと、ここにあるものは好きに使っていい。生活必需品は一通り揃っているはずだ。
I mean, Rio is a lot more. Yeah, Rio is also a lot more prevalent in this route, though. He talked maybe like 3 times in Izumi's route, and he was not in for most of it. Like he popped in like once. Yeah. Thank you very much. I was grateful, but I was also curious. Why was he so familiar with Moravia, and why did he know so much about this place? Rio, are you with the Vector sympathizers? I was grateful to him for saving Lise, but I couldn't keep the accusation out of my voice. Have you been double-crossing the Blooms all this time? Rio wasn't bothered by my interrogation. When he looked at me, he seemed almost bored.
そうとも言えるし、そうじゃないとも言える。
Oh, God. Is he gonna be like this? Looks like that's all I'm getting out of him today. He just said the same thing in a different way. I knew pushing the topic would be a waste of time, so I backed off. Instead, I bowed my head in appreciation. You. Have a bonk. Thank you for everything you've done. For saving Lise, I mean. No matter which side you're on, I have no right to judge. Not when I'm here with following Moravia of my own volition. I lifted my head and gazed out the window. The colony was so quiet, almost peaceful. I took a deep breath. Do you come here often?
来る時もある。
Wow. Amazing. We're not even on his route. We're already trying to raise him up. His vague answer made me realize he was well guarded. He wasn't one to let something slip.
俺はシータに戻る。後の面倒はモラビアたちに見てもらえ。
Yeah. Bonk. Then Rio silently slipped out of the room. He's gone. He's a secretive one, that's for sure. Finally alone, I let myself unwind. I'd been rigid with tension this whole time. I sat down on a chair next to the bed and watched over Lise as she slept. Lise, please wake up soon. Rio said that she would be fine, but I knew I'd never be able to really relax until Lise woke up. But even when she did wake up, she'd be faced with the fact she's no longer fully human. That was gonna be terrible. I have to tell her the truth, but how will she handle it? No, I can't waste time thinking about worst-case scenarios. There we go, hiccup. I need to get my bearings so I can help Lise when she does wake up. Rio said to ask Moravia for whatever I needed. Is it really okay, though? I couldn't see myself approaching Moravia or the others to ask for soap and towels. I hesitated. I should make an effort to take care of as many things as possible by myself. And that's all I can do for now. Lise. Suddenly, Lise stirred. I leaned in closer. Lise?
When I said her name softly, as if in prayer, Lise's eyes slowly opened. She looked around groggily, seemingly unable to grasp where she was. Then her eyes found mine. Lise! You're awake! Oh, I'm so relieved! I was so happy to see Lise awake that tears started to burn behind my eyes. Are you alright? How do you feel?
ちょっとクラクラするかな。
Yay!
でも大丈夫。
She lives! Then she looked around the room, concerned.
ここはどこ？
We're in a safe place. And I'm here with you, so just relax.
安全。はあ、そうだ。あの時、化け物みたいなのに襲われて、それで。
It's alright, it's alright. I grabbed Lise's hand. Did you forget your toe beans, Itetica? I grabbed Lise's hand in my own as she started to panic. I squeezed it to calm her down. No doubt Lise must have been terrified. The thought made my heart ache. Yeah, it's your applesauce brain now. Lise, you must be exhausted. You should rest up as much as possible.
ねえ、あの時、何があったの？
Lise's voice trembled. She was scared, but there was also unspoken worry in her voice. I better hold off from telling Lise the truth. If she hears it in her condition, it might cause serious psychological damage. Of course you want to know what happened. I promise I'll tell you everything when you're feeling a little better. For now, please rest. I tightened my hand around Lise's, and she gave a slight nod.
わかった。君がそう言うなら、今はもう少し休もうかな。
Yeah, just sleep, Lise. Lise closed her eyes again and drifted back into a deep sleep. She was far from fully recovered. But at least now she looked like she was sleeping soundly, and some of her color was back. Oh, phew. I think if she gets enough rest, she'll be fine. I watched Lise sleep for a while, then glanced out the window. It was almost evening. I think I'll take a cat nap myself, just for a few minutes. Then I'll look around the building. Yikes! I fell asleep for a while there. Panicked, I glanced out the window. I was relieved to see it was only dusk. There was still time before nightfall. Yeah, naps are risky, especially when you don't have an alarm. Refreshed from my nap, I got out of my chair and stretched. I decided to have a look around the building. Oh my god! Oh my god, Zettetica! And yeah. That's why I was about to be surprised that she woke up refreshed from her nap. I've never been refreshed from a nap in my life. But then again, I also am the type of person who my body prefers to go to sleep from 2 a.m. to 10 p.m. That, like, if I let myself just go as I want, that is how my circadian rhythm likes to go. Which is annoying. Yeah. There were a lot of rooms, to say the least. I checked out all of them, then headed to the kitchen. It was equipped for simple cooking. Yeah? I guess I would have to move to the East Coast then. I would have to live on the East Coast. Because then it would be... Yeah, if I did this earlier. Ew, no. I've been to Florida multiple times. Florida, no. It's also too hot down there. I don't need more hot weather. The cupboards were well stocked, and it also contained a small dining space. We could live here and never want for anything. Did Rio bring all the foodstuffs here? He does seem familiar with the place. I guess it's possible. The whole building had a lived-in feeling. It seemed quite homey, like a normal human dwelling. It was hard to imagine, but Moravia and her crew appeared to live like normal people. What's this room? I found a door in the back that I hadn't opened yet, but just as I was turning the handle... I jumped about 10 feet in the air and rolled around to find Hyuga standing behind me. Oh, sorry. True, I hadn't known who the room belonged to, but it was still rude to barge into someone's private space. I felt embarrassed.
Hyuga just looked down on me with his usual sour expression. I almost waltzed into his room without invitation. No wonder he's mad. You live here?
そうだ。
Hyuga fixed me with a cold stare as he continued.
ただし、同じ建物にいるからといって、俺はお前たちの面倒を見るつもりはない。
We can take care of ourselves. But can you at least tell me where we can find things? Based on his attitude so far, I was expecting him to tell me to get lost. I braced myself for an icy rejection. He wasn't even in his room. He walked up behind us. But to my surprise, Hyuga shifted his gaze to another room down the corridor.
あっちに物置として使っている部屋がある。もう中は見たか？
Oh, right. I noticed it's filled with various daily use kind of stuff. He actually gave me a nice, normal answer. To be honest, I was taken aback.
物置の中の日用品は勝手に使え。食料の貯蔵庫はあっちだ。扉は開けっぱなしにするな。ネズミが入る。
Got it.
共有部分や水回りの掃除は気づいたやつがやることになっている。雪並みやモラビアがやった試しはねえけどな。
It sounded like Hyuga shouldered all the cleaning.
ゴミは基本的に焼却処分だ。ある程度溜まったら外で勝手に燃やせ。
Fire
場所なら
pits.
腐るほどある。ただし、火事は出すなよ。
Okay, I'll be careful. I mentally went over everything he said, hoping to commit everything to memory.
それから洗濯は。おい、お前洗濯板は使ったことあるか？
No. What's a washboard? I'd never even heard of that word before. I only knew how to wash clothes with automatic machines.
洗濯板も知らねえのか？
Don't even know how to do laundry? Having been raised in a colony like Theta, You know, honestly, that would have been a great way for us to hit on him, but I don't think we would have done it because we don't know what a washboard is. I thought it'd be kind of obvious that I wouldn't know what a washboard is, but I kept silent. Hyuga gestured for me to follow him and he led me to a washboard. He then proceeded to grumpily lecture me on how to use it. See why I said he's just a tsundere? Hyuga had said not to expect any help from him, but here he was, talking laundry with me. He's a kind-hearted guy deep down, but he clearly isn't the social type. I need to make sure I'm self-sufficient as soon as possible so I don't burden him anymore. By the time Hyuga finished his lecture, I felt much more confident about how things worked around the colony.
本来は昨日教えるはずだったんだが、どっかの誰かはグースか寝てたからな。
What? Hyuga shot me a pointed look. Wait, what was he talking about? Yesterday? Passed out? I was still in Theta yesterday. What was he talking about? Oh my god, we slept a whole day?
お前、もしかして気づいてねえのか？
Hyuga rolled his eyes as I struggled to grab the meaning of what exactly he was saying.
お前らがシータを出てここに着いたのは昨日。
Oh my god.
丸一日寝てたんだよ、お前。
What? I slept a full 24 hours? In that chair? I had no idea. Suddenly, I realized Hyuga must have watched me sleep. I felt myself getting flustered. As I froze up with embarrassment, Hyuga rolled his eyes again and sighed.
疲れてたんだろ。
Yeah. Is he trying to make me feel better? It's still so embarrassing, though. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'll check that out later. Sorry. Friend sent me something too that I need to check out soon, but I'll do it later. Yeah. Well, to be fair, I wouldn't want someone watching me sleep either. I remained rooted to the spot. Hyuga shrugged and turned his back to me, making it clear he was done with this whole line of conversation. Oh, is he trying to make me feel better? Still pretty embarrassing, though. Okay.
よし、起きたならついてこい。
Where are we going?
腹が減ってないなら来なくていい。
Also, where are we on his flowchart? Oh, we're still in 1-1. Okay, well. Hungry? What is that? Oh, is he gonna give me some food? Oh, wait, please. I hurried after Hyuga, intending to ask for a portion to take back to Lise too. Outside, night had fallen. It's night already. All that lecturing sure took a while. It was dark, but the dome overhead projected a spray of stars, which gave me more than enough light to see by. I looked up at the sky, but Hyuga kept walking. He wasn't about to wait for me. I trotted after him, following along as he strode on ahead. As I went, I kept glancing at the stars overhead. When I thought back to that dark, empty sky I saw outside, I realized how lucky I was to grow up in a safe colony like this one. Yeah. You said there were stocks of food in the building we just left, right? Hyuga clearly wasn't happy about answering questions, but at least he actually replied. So if we're getting food, shouldn't we stop by the storage first?
貯蔵庫に今は用はない。
Oh, okay. Hyuga fell silent after that, as if explaining further was too much of a bother. We walked a little while longer before reaching a plaza. A campfire burned merrily in its center, and I could see two figures standing by it.
あ、やっと来た。遅いよ。
You're late. It was Yukinami, and I initially thought the other was Moravia, but then I noticed their clothes were different from hers.
こんばんは。目が覚めたんだね。
Oh, hey. We get to see Moravia's brother. Yeah, I guess they're both dressed in black. Sorry, it's like I need to check this out and I need to do it, but I can do it later. Prince, don't get distracted. It was a young man. He seemed kind, but there was something strange about him. I am extremely distracted today. I did driving practice, and I did good at my parallel parking, and my brain like went to mush afterwards. I did good though. Who is he? I feel like I've met him somewhere before. Yeah, I did like 4 good parallel parks in a row. And behind other cars too. I am leveling up at driving. Yeah, my next thing to tackle is highway driving. High-speed highway driving. I've done it like twice before, and I hated it. But I need to get used to it. Yeah. There's surprisingly a ton of places around me that use parallel parking. I'm like, what the fuck? This is pretty suburban. Why the fuck are we full of parallel parking? But yeah, there's an apartment complex and a housing division that's like 3 minutes from my place to that's almost like all parallel parking. But also there's a street where my parents live, and it's all parallel parking. But it's also a main like thoroughfare street, so it kind of makes sense. Then
僕は伊吹。よろしく。前にも君のコロニーで会ったね。
We did? Oh yeah, we spoke for a bit, didn't we?
無理しなくてもいいよ。忘れちゃったなら仕方ないさ。
Sorry, but if we met in my colony, why are you here? Yeah.
僕もここに住んでいるから。
That wasn't the answer I was expecting, and I had no idea how to respond. I wish I could ask him why he lives in a place like this, but he was a strange guy who didn't seem like the type to answer questions on a whim. Then Yukinami spoke up.
ねえ、それより早くしてよ。僕お腹空いたんだけど。
待っていろ。
Oh. Then Hyuga walked to a big pot bubbling over the fire and began preparing dinner plates. I see. The food's already cooked. That's why he didn't need to stop by the food storage. But
But if the cooking was being done out here, why was Hyuga in the building before? Ibuki supplied the answer as soon as I entered my mind, just as if he... As I entered my head, just as if he was reading my mind. Thank you for... Oh, it's... Hydrates. Alright. I've had Wawa.
ヒューガが君たちの食事のことを気にしてたみたいだから、だったら呼んできなよって言ったんだ。まあ、本人はだいぶ渋ってたけどね。でも結局昨日も見に行ってたよ。
Aww. That explains why he was in the corridor. I was surprised he went to such trouble for me. I had the impression he didn't care. Yeah. I could see if I could figure out how to do that through Mix It Up. A counter that people could add to. Yeah, the counter would overflow immediately. I would be terrified. Also, like, to see how just exactly how many times I hiccup.
Oi, 飯だ。
Oh my god! Oh, he's precious. He's a precious little tsundere. I looked over. Hyuga handed a plate out to me. Why are we eating out here?
そうだ。
Oh, are we eating out here? For some reason, I thought only the cooking was done outside. I hadn't even entertained the idea of eating outside. I hesitated. Hyuga narrowed his eyes, annoyed. He is pretty cute.
食べるつもりがないならとっとと帰れ。
To get lost is also on the menu. I didn't say anything like that. I'll eat. Panicked, I grabbed the plate. It contained a sort of chicken and tomato stew that looked surprisingly good. This looks amazing, but what if it's poisoned or something? He wouldn't do that, right? A sense of self-preservation. No, we also have lived in a bubble. In a literal dome. Yeah, some sort of potato. Unless that's like weird chicken. My self-preservation warned me to be careful, but Ibuki and Yukinami were already chowing down. I decided it was probably safe to eat. Wow, this is amazing! Eating outdoors felt rather rustic. Yeah, chicken dodecahedrons, but it really seemed to make the food taste better. It was more delicious than anything I'd had in Theta. Yeah, I don't know.
Hyuga, 美味しいだってよ。
Yukinami grinned teasingly at Hyuga, but Hyuga's face remained expressionless.
聞こえてる。
Also, I love that he's tipped the bowl towards us. Like, there's no way that... Like, the way that this picture is oriented, the perspective, he has, like, tipped the bowl towards us. Hyuga was the one who served me, and Yukinami's compliment was directed at him. Does that mean Hyuga cooked this? I had to know, so I asked. Did you make this? Aww. Did you make this meal, Hyuga? Hyuga made no attempt to respond, but the perpetual frown on his face lifted just a little. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Wait, is he embarrassed? Yeah. I've never seen his expression soften before. I kept an eye out for more changes, but that was all I got.
ヒューガはいつも美味しいご飯を作ってくれるんだよ。
Wow! Well, this dish is truly amazing. It wasn't an empty compliment. I meant it.
そうかよ。
Hyuga's answer was gruff, but he was clearly hiding his embarrassment. Why didn't we get a blushy CG? I wanted blushy CG of this man. So Hyuga did the cooking after all. People really are more than what they appear to be. I only knew him as a ferocious opponent on the battlefield, but also as the man with the permanent frown. But he's more than just some moody guy who lives to fight, and Yukinami's chipper too. I had only just arrived at Tao, but my opinions on Ibuki and his friends were starting to change. Yeah, true. But come to think of it, where's Moravia? Isn't Moravia joining us for dinner? Ibuki chuckled as if I'd told a good joke.
僕がいるからね。
That didn't even begin to make sense. Ibuki's here? Well, obviously. Oh, I wonder if Moravia and Ibuki are enemies! That's what we're coming to now. I stared at Ibuki, considering it. Ibuki just grinned back at me. Ibuki seems like a normal human.
I barely even remember what we talked about when we met back in Theta. But if he's here getting along with Hyuga and Yukinami, then maybe he's not a normal human? Yeah, siblings, enemies, true. Are you a normal human? My questions seem to flip a switch. Oh, God. No, not this question. God. His whole demeanor changed.
そういう君はただの人間?
I'm a human. God bless it. That upped our sync rate.
そういう君
I don't know. I guess I don't really know. A nagging doubt prevented me from answering immediately. Ibuki watched me with a grin on his face.
そうなんだ。
へえ、人間だって言うと思ったが。
I've always thought of myself as a person. Which is a human. Even now I don't see myself very differently, but...
迷っているんだね。
I nodded, unable to deny it. Yeah, I think I am. Ibuki's question made my thoughts run wild. Now that I had superpowers, could I really say I'm truly human? Even if I can't accept that I'm human, what about other people? If they saw my powers, would they still count me as one of their own? Somehow, I doubted it. Because of that, Ibuki's question about my humanity weighed heavily on me. I guess maybe I'm not.
じゃあ僕も同じ。
Then? Is he implying that if I insisted I'm human, he would have agreed with me and said he's a human too? Ibuki didn't seem like a bad guy, but his demeanor was beyond strange. His aura, the way he talks, he reminds me so much of Moravia. As I continued to match up their similar traits in my head, a possibility struck me. Yeah. Hey, are you and Moravia siblings?
僕が
ああ、そうそう。兄弟。そんな感じだよ。
Yukinami, why are you covering for him? Yukinami had stopped eating and decided to insert himself in our conversation. Well, that's super suspicious. Yukinami's answer was light and casual, but his timing was odd. Like he was trying to cut Ibuki off mid-sentence. And what does he mean by something like that? Not a very confident answer. So what is the relationship between Ibuki and Moravia? Even more odd was how Ibuki just quietly went along about eating while we talked. It was clear the conversation was done. I felt a pair of eyes boring into me. Unsurprisingly, they belonged to Hyuga.
お前は詮索するのが好きなのか?
Well, I'm not. You don't have to worry about that. I mess things up way too often. What?
いいご趣味だな。
What? I was shaken. I didn't think I was being nosy, but Hyuga's stare endured. Is he being sarcastic? I wasn't prying. I was just asking a few questions. You want hands? I can scroll it. Hands. They're just down by my crotch, cause they're at my sides. So, you don't get hands very often. Hands. There we go. Okay. Here we go. I wasn't prying, was just asking a few questions. My head was suddenly crowded with thoughts. At the same time, I felt resentful. Why was I on the spot for asking questions? What gives him the right to talk to me like that? I just want some answers. Is there anything wrong with that? There was no point in starting a fight, so I took a deep breath to calm down. I'm here to learn all I can. Moravia said she'd tell me everything. That's why I'm here. I need to find out whatever I can. Yeah. That's how I felt. I matched Hyuga's glare to make it clear I wouldn't back off. It's true. I don't know a thing about what's going on. I don't even know what exactly I'm supposed to know. Is wanting answers really being nosy? Hyuga never blinked. I forced my voice to remain steady as I continued. I want to know about the vectors. I want to know about all of you too. Something tells me I should learn everything I can. Hyuga finally broke his gaze, but he quickly found my eyes again.
俺たちのことを知って、それで歩み寄れるとでも言うつもりか?
Well, exactly. We can't even begin to reach an understanding if I didn't get to know you first. Is it that weird to want to learn more about you? I've been fighting on the Bloom side, but now I'm talking to Vector sympathizers. No wonder they think I'm up to something. It makes sense, but I want them to know how serious I am about this. I need to get them to understand me a little. I get why you can't trust me, but my main priority is to save Lise, so I have to rely on you guys. Also, I couldn't save Lise because I'm in the dark about everything. I really regret that. I'm protecting something precious to me. That's why I need to know more. I need to know about you, the vectors, everything. Hyuga's expression actually softened into something resembling pity. Oh, great. Now he
お
pities
前は
us.
かわいそうなやつだな。知るべきは俺たちのことじゃなくて自分自身のことなんじゃないか。
I frowned, mulling over the implications of Hyuga's infuriatingly vague sentence. What do you mean? I wanted to make certain I understood what he was getting at, but then Ibuki interrupted. There we go, I could go up a little bit.
それも含めて全てを知ってほしいって言ったんだよ。
モラビアがね。
そう、モラビアが。
The emphasis placed on Moravia piqued my interest, but Ibuki continued on before I could consider it further.
せっかくここに来たんだから、僕は僕たちのことも君に知ってほしいって思っているよ。
That's exactly what I want.
ヒューガもいつまでも不機嫌そうにしないで、彼女と仲良くしてみたら？
Play nice. I think he's a fucking dog. But Hyuga just snorted and looked away. Not surprising. He's a tough nut to crack.
僕は仲良くしてあげてもいいよ。
Sure you will. Yukinami. It really would be hilarious. Thanks, Yukinami. I'd like us to be friends. Yukinami, on the other hand, was as accepting as a puppy. He grinned at me.
君は僕たちのことを知りたいんでしょ？でもヒューガは自分のこと絶対自分からは話しそうにないよね。
Yeah, true.
なんなら僕がヒューガのことも教えてあげようか。
How about I save him the agony of talking and tell you everything about it instead? Hyuga immediately turned his scowl on Yukinami.
余計なことを言うな。
ヒューガはね、もともと僕が拾ってきて。
おい、黙れ。
Picked up Hyuga? That sounds weird. I must have met under odd circumstances. Hyuga attempted to get Yukinami to stop, but he prattled on.
それとね、ヒューガは料理だけじゃなく片付けとかも得意なんだよ。いつも片付けをしてくれるんだ。
We've walked into a weird polycule. They are these three are the epitome of, hey, me and my bros saw you on the other side of the bar. We thought your vibe was really cool.
それはお前らがほっとくといつまでも散らかしっぱなしにするからだろうが。
そんなに散らかしてないじゃん。いぶきは散らかすけど。
片付けは苦手だな。
Yeah, I know. I thought back to how Hyuga complained to me that he was the only one who cleaned up.
だいたいさ、片付けなくても困らなくない？ヒューガは口うるさいなって思う。
Hyuga's such a nag.
誰のせいで口うるさくなってると思ってんだ。
He sounded so annoyed.
ヒューガは人の世話を焼くのが好きなんだよね。
Aww.
好きでやってるんじゃねえ。お前らに生活力が欠如してるから仕方なくやってるだけだ。
そこでほっとかないあたりが世話焼きなんだよ。
Nag, nag, nag.
口ばかり達者になりやがって。
Yeah, Hyuga and Yukinami continued to snip at each other, and I couldn't get a word in. Despite the complaining, they seemed to think very highly of each other. It was like how Hyuga was prickly towards me, but he still showed me around, made dinner. It was clear he enjoyed taking care of others. Yeah. Ibuki's like at least 10 years older than us, the main character, because he was friends with our parents before we were born. And then we were born, and he went to go see us. So he's at least 10 years older than us. Uh-huh. Hyuga and Yukinami continued to bark at each other. We don't know, as Ibuki ate in serene silence. I watched him from the corner of my eye. Well, you're never given an exact age. I think I can get along with Ibuki and Yukinami, but I don't think Hyuga likes me much. He had a strong mother-hen instinct, true, but I wasn't sure he'd ever accept me.
Is there any common ground between us? I let out a small sigh. When I finished eating, I decided to ask Hyuga about cleanup. Oh, we are a child soldier. We are a child soldier made to clean up the failed genetic manipulation. Yeah. All the vectors are victims of failed gene manipulation. So they're all human, or they were all human, and we as children are sent out to fight them. Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I mentioned CRISPR babies. I wasn't kidding. Thank you for the meal. It was delicious. Let me take care of cleaning up.
別にいい。
He thoroughly shot me down, leaving me deflated. I don't know what I expected. Anyway, I should take some food to Lise. But before I could bring up Lise, Hyuga thrust a plate full of food in my direction.
持っていけ。
That doesn't surprise me.
柔らかく煮つけてある。病み上がりでも食べやすいだろう。
Aww. This portion is for Lise. He dished up the extra food before I even asked. I couldn't believe he was thinking of Lise and showing kindness towards her. Thank you.
いいからとっとと戻れ。
Hyuga's edge would probably never dull, but it was clear he had a good heart. I still wasn't sure how I'd get him to fully accept me, but I felt like we'd taken the first step. I'm back! I entered the room quietly just in case Lise was sleeping. I crept up to her bedside and stole a look. She was still sleeping soundly. Sleep well and get better soon. I placed the meal on the bedside table and sat in the chair next to the bed. Exhaustion crept over me quickly. It'd been a long time since I'd had a good sleep. I'm tired all of a sudden. Maybe I finally feel safe enough to relax? I'll just cat nap until Lise wakes up. We're gonna sleep another fucking 24 hours. I closed my eyes and before I knew it, I was completely conked out. Yeah. I don't know if we're supposed to have like a separate bed. But, I jumped awake as someone shook me. I must have dropped headfirst in a dreamland. Yikes. So much for a catnap.
Ohayo.
I looked in the direction of the greeting and saw Lise sitting up on the bed. Liz, no. Lise, you're awake!
ついさっきね。君があんまりぐっすり寝てたから起こさないでおいたんだ。
Yeah, I guess I was pretty tired. But how are you, Lise? Do you feel okay?
寝たからさっきよりだいぶすっきりしたよ。
Do you think you could try eating? We have some food that should be easy to digest. Lise's expression stiffened a little. She'd clearly picked up on my phrasing and had realized someone was hosting us. She's only been unconscious for like a day or two. Her reaction was natural, given she had no idea what was going on, but Lise forced a cheerful smile.
じゃあ食べようかな。ちょうどお腹空いたなって思ってたんだ。
Oh, good. Take your time. Don't rush it. I gave Lise her tray and she worked at her meal bit by bit. It relieved me. We don't know. She got attacked. She was, like, scratched really hard. She was bleeding. But we don't know anything else. It relieved me to see she had an appetite, plus her color was returning. I hope she'd recover quickly from here on out. We don't know. We just found her body. She was laying on the ground in a puddle of blood and she was scratched. Pretty deeply. Suddenly, Lise stopped eating. Her spoon hung in midair. She mumbled something.
私、ちょっと思い出してきたな。
Go on.
あの時、いきなり化け物みたいなやつに襲われて、確か怪我をしたんだ。どこか病院みたいだけど、病院じゃない感じのところに運び込まれて、 治療を受けたのかな。
Lise tried to explain as she grasped at her foggy memories.
でもその後は薬か何かでずっと眠らされていて、それに手足を何かで押さえられてた気がする。
Real Tomitsuka had said something about Lise being in a secure area of the research district. I had no idea why she'd be restrained, though. And I realized the researchers were probably afraid Lise would turn into a vector. No doubt the commander knew of Lise's status. When I told him I wanted to visit Lise in the hospital, he blew me off. No. Nope. We did not see the Vector Lab in this route. We only see the Vector Lab when we go to see Lise. Because we break in to see Lise. And then she turns into a Vector in front of us and we kill Lise. So on the Village route, we never see the Vector Lab. Well, yeah, true. She probably was concussed, but that doesn't mean she'd be a vegetable. I've had concussions. Multiples. There's just lies on top of lies here. Resentment and helplessness weighed on me.
でもね、寝てる時に夢を見たんだ。
Oh? Oh?
そう。誰かが私に会いに来る夢。あれは現実にあったことだったのかな。
No! No! Not bell peppers! No!
夢で見た誰かは君だったのかな。
True.
君があの場所から助け出してくれたの？
You were in the research district, Lise, but I wasn't the one who went in there and saved you. Someone else did. I knew nothing good would happen to you if you stayed there, so I sent for help and we brought you here. Lise looked at me with sad eyes.
どうなっていたかわからないって。もしかしてこれのこと？
Oh, there's her tats! Lise peeled back the hem of her top, revealing a strange mark on her skin. It was the same mark the Vectors bore. What is that? Is this a sign that she's turning into a Vector? I recalled how Hyuga made a crack about Lise turning into a monster. My blood ran cold.
なんか気がついたらこうなってたんだ。変な病気なのかな。もしもこれが全身に広がったらって思うと怖くて。
Shh, 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 shh. It's okay, calm down. Lise told me. The comforting words were self-serving. Lise was panicking, and I knew I had to be the one to stay steady and calm. Rio said he gave her an antibody shot. Hopefully, it stopped the spread. I'm sure she won't get any more Vector-like than this. Lise, please listen to me. I'm going to tell you what happened and what's happening to you right now. Lise nodded, focusing on me as I spoke.
知ってるなら教えて。
Lise's response was weak. It hurt to hear it. I told her everything that happened. I told her about the Vectors, the things that attacked her, and I told her about how victims of Vector attacks turn into Vectors as well. Lise had remained in the research district. If Lise had remained in the research district, she too would have turned to a Vector. That's why I escaped with her.
でもこんなあざがあるってことはこれから害獣になる兆候なんじゃない？
You were given an antibody shot. If you were going to transform any further, I think it would have happened by now. I guess you're basically half Vector. So we can't really say you're a normal human anymore. I explained what Hyuga told me about some Vectors who maintained a human appearance and intelligence. He told us about that? I don't remember that.
人間じゃなくなっちゃったんだ。
Yeah. Lise fell silent. She mulled over the situation. She closed her eyes as if trying to accept it.
でも理性のない化け物にならなくて済んだのはラッキーだったって思わなくちゃね。
Oh, Lise. Lise never failed to look on the bright side, regardless of how much she suffered. It made things easier for me too.
だけどさっきからすごく疑問に思ってることがあるんだけど。
What's that? Ask me whatever you want.
I would gladly do anything for Lise if it would help her feel better. She was already starting to sound more like her usual self.
なんでそんな極秘事項っぽいことを君が知ってるの？
Oh, right! I never told Lise about my secret activities with the Blooms. Now that she knows this much, I may as well tell her everything. There's no real point in keeping secrets now. And anyway, I'm no longer a normal human either. Maybe that'll make Lise feel less alone. Listen, Lise, I'm sorry for keeping you out of the loop for so long, but I need to tell you. I proceeded to spill everything about me getting superpowers, becoming one of the Blooms, and fighting Vectors. When I finished, Lise's eyes were wide. She was most shocked about me battling Vectors.
じゃあ、君があの噂のヒーローだったっていうの？
Yeah, I'm still a newbie though.
あんな化け物と戦ったりするの？特に運動神経がいいってわけでもない君が？
Oh, hush. Yeah? I mean, you're not wrong, but is that really what surprises you most?
だって意外だったんだもん。普段の君のイメージと違いすぎて。
Wow.
でも、ちょっと納得したとこもあるな。
Thanks, Lise.
君がずっと何か言いたそうにしてたのは、そのことだったんだね。
I'm sorry for keeping you in the dark. I know I made you worry.
なんで話してくれなかったのって責めたい気持ちもあるけど、さすがにそういう事情じゃ仕方ないよね。
Lise seemed to understand, and that was a huge relief. Before I forget, can I ask you a question too?
いいよ。
Why were you even in the line of fire that day? I thought you'd gone back to the dorm.
気になっちゃったか。
Uh-huh.
近頃、君が私に言えない秘密を抱えてるみたいで、ちょっと寂しかったんだ。まあ、もう事情は分かったけど、あの日、心のどこかで期待してたんだ。君の気が変わってカフェに来てくれるんじゃないかななんて思ってね。
So I was the reason you were there. Lise wouldn't been hurt if I'd been more thoughtful of her feelings. Well, we literally couldn't do anything! Horrified, I covered my mouth with my hands, but Lise waved dismissively.
違うよ。君が来ても来なくても私がお茶してケーキ食べたかっただけ。君のせいなんかじゃないんだからね。
Still, I'm so sorry.
だから謝らないで。私が完全な害獣にならずに済んだのは君が助けてくれたおかげなんだから。
Then Lise cast her eyes downward, but not before I saw them filled with sadness.
だけど、こうなったらもうシータに戻って普通に生活することはできないんだよね。
No, neither of us can go back to our normal lives again, Lise. But we can start new lives here. A lot's happened, and I know things are rough, but you're not alone. We had similar problems, but different circumstances. It was the best comfort I could offer.
少し時間をちょうだい。それと、ありがとう。君がいてくれるなら、どこにいても頑張れるかもって思うよ。
Aww. I feel the same way. My heart filled with warmth as I watched Lise struggle to try her best. I'll be in the room next door. But we do have a room, we just wanted to be with Lise. A short while after I left Lise's room, I started to hear sounds from next door. Lise was crying. Sobbing. Oh. She called out for her family in a hushed voice. Guilt crushed me like a pile of rubble. Was bringing Lise here really the right thing to do? Ouch! I still couldn't be sure. Oh, ow! Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right, well, 2-1. Maybe. They'll never be able to go back. The next morning, I went back to the campfire on a hunch. Sure enough, breakfast was being made.
おはよ
Good morning, Yukinami. I looked around, but no one else was there. Is it just you today?
う。うん。いぶきはさっさと食べてどっか行った。ヒューガもご飯作ったら、あとは勝手に食べろって言ってどっか行ったよ。
So they both went off on their own, huh? Doesn't seem like Yukinami minds. I took some soup and bread for breakfast and settled down to eat with Yukinami. Yeah. He seemed happy to talk about anything, so I struck up a conversation about food. How many meals are served here each day?
日によって違うよ。夜はヒューガが毎日作るけど、朝は作ったり作らなかったり。昼はだいたい作らないけど、たまにヒューガの気が向いた時は昼ご飯も作ったりするかな。
More like if you beg him.
食事がない時は僕は別に食べなくてもいいけど、ちょっとお腹空いたってなったら食料庫から何か出して食べたりするよ。
I see. So only dinner is served with any sort of consistency. In other words, breakfast wasn't a sure thing. Oh, no, they are. Oh, they are. We basically played what was supposed to be, I think, the end route. We finished it last night. Yeah. Yeah, basically, we're split off from the same point. It's, they were trying to genetically modify human beings to allow them to live outside in the fucked up Earth. And it was either they gained superpowers and the ability... no, I don't think he's locked, but I'm uncertain. I'm gonna do his route last, because I think he'll unlock a lot of stuff we didn't know. But I don't think his was a locked route, or at least I haven't noticed. But yeah, so basically the vectors and the blooms are, and people with superpowers are, two sides of the same coin. You either get superpowers or you become a vector. Glad I got the meal schedule sorted out. Whenever there's no communal meal, I can throw something together for Lise and I. I finished breakfast, said bye to Yukinami, and headed back to Lise's room with her food. When I got back, I peeked in on her. She was still sleeping. She must be emotionally drained. I should let her sleep for now. I quietly set Lise's breakfast on the table alongside a scrawled note that said, I'm going out for a bit. I need to know more about all of this. I need to know if the choice I made was the right one. Then I can figure the rest out. Where do I look for answers? The colony was smaller than Theta, but buildings loomed everywhere. If I wandered aimlessly, I'd get lost in no time. Moreover, I'd arrived at night, so I hadn't noticed that the roads were actually in bad shape. A lot of the buildings also looked like they were on the verge of collapse. I needed to be careful and watch where I was walking. And things have been hectic, but I only just noticed this colony is filled with vectors. Tons and tons of vectors. But they seem pretty laid back, so I guess I don't need to worry. Come to think of it, this is the vectors' home. It makes sense they'd be roaming about. My past encounters with vectors obviously put me on edge, but the colony's creatures didn't do much beyond nap in the shade of the buildings. Why aren't the vectors here attacking me? Could it be they're not naturally aggressive? Yes. No, that can't be it. They attack because that's their remaining humanity, driving them to be near other humans, and then the other humans freak out and attack, and they get freaked out and attack, and it's just a sad thing all around. I was supposed to be looking around the colony, but I was distracted by studying the vectors.
何か気になるものでもあった?
Oh, Moravia. I had no idea how long she'd been standing there, but Moravia was watching me from a short way away. Her eyes shone with keen interest. This is actually the first time I've seen Moravia since I got to this colony. She didn't even show up for dinner last night. Moravia, where have you been this whole time?
君のそばに.
Well, they also look like terrifying monsters that crash down the walls of humanity's safety bubble. So, it's a manner of they cannot communicate, and basically the way they come to us looks like an attack, so humans attack in self-defense, thinking that they're being attacked, and it's miscommunication all around. No, you haven't. That's why I asked. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get a decent answer. Moravia's vague way of talking reminded me of my conversation with Ibuki.
Goat-phobic, yeah.
Last night, I realized how similar they are, or as Yukinami said, two peas in a pod. But what was their true connection? I'm curious, but now's not the time. Anyway, I doubt I'd get a straight answer. Moravia had said she wanted to tell me everything, so I decided to ask a different question. Will the vectors here attack me?
大丈夫だよ。向かってくることはあるだろうけど、拒絶すれば去っていくから。
Ignore them? I never considered the option to ignore vectors. If I showed them I'm not interested in interacting, would they even understand? Moravia's response was surprising, to say the least, but she just looked at me as if I'd said something amusing. Only humans.
信じられないって顔だね。君は害獣をきちんと拒絶したことがある？今までは害獣に自分から突っ込んでいくか、恐怖に動けなくて固まっていただけじゃない？
Well, Moravia wasn't wrong. I wasn't sure what to say.
いい機会だから試してみるといいよ。ほら、ちょうどこちらに向かってくる子がいる。
Yes? I think sometimes they leave behind crystals, but that's never been explained. Moravia pointed, and I looked over to see one of the vectors lumbering towards me. My heartbeat kicked into high gear as it got closer. It looked like it wanted to attack me. I clenched my hands into fists and prepared myself. Stay back! I don't know. I spoke in a loud, firm voice, then... The vector halted, made a sad crooning noise, and wandered in the opposite direction. No way. The very idea that I could simply ask a vector not to bother me?
誰でもできるわけじゃない。君だからこそできたんだよ。
Yeah. Yeah, it understands us because we're basically half vector ourselves by being part of Generation 1. I'm special? Oh. Yeah. No doubt Moravia was referring to my superpowers, or so I thought. I hadn't intended to use my powers to talk to that vector, but I guess they worked on reflex.
このコロニーにいる害獣相手なら今みたいにやればいいよ。ただし外にいる害獣については保証しないけどね。
Understood. I'll be careful. So, in other words, I had nothing to fear from the vectors living inside the colony. If that was the case, I felt a lot safer. Yeah. Oh, before I forget, will the vectors attack Lise? Lise wasn't well enough to go outside yet, but no doubt she'd want to go out when she felt better. I was worried about what might happen.
リーゼも大丈夫。むしろ彼女は害獣側になったようなものだから、仲間として認識されるはずだよ。
One of their own, huh? It was jarring to hear the vectors would count Lise as one of them, but at least she'd be safe.
これからどうするつもり？
I'm probably gonna look around the colony for a bit. I don't know a lot about this place yet.
君なりに僕たちのことを知ろうとしてくれているんだね。よく見てくるといいよ。
Kitty, kitty, kitty. Moravia smiled and waved me off as I started my walk around the colony. After I had gone some distance, I spotted a building that looked like it might be inhabited. I think I saw that building yesterday, too. It really does look like it's in good shape. As far as I know, the only people living here are Moravia, Ibuki, Yukidami, and Hyuga. Do they work together to keep this building looking nice for some reason? They all had their quirks, but none of them seemed to be the type to be interested in home renovation and landscaping. I'll ask one of them, but maybe not Hyuga. I feel like if I asked him, he'd bite my face off. But maybe my perception of him is what's keeping me from making friends. Sure. I continued to walk, my thoughts keeping me company. Then I spied someone up ahead. Oh, hey, it's Hyuga. Speak, well, think of the devil. Does this count as good or bad timing? Several vectors crowded around Hyuga. He didn't notice me. He was busy fiddling with something. Yeah, when I got a better look, I saw it was a gun. I remember seeing him use it when we fought. Hyuga appeared to be giving the gun a once-over. Yeah. It was a menacing sight, to be honest. I started to get a bad feeling in my gut. What does he plan to do with that? My heart was pounding, but I couldn't leave it now. What do you mean you couldn't leave it now? Are you just gonna approach the man with a gun? And be annoying? Like,
and bother him? We literally know he has a gun. We're quite aware of the gun.
At that, he finally noticed me and turned to face me. Hey, what you doing? He didn't seem interested in responding to me and just returned to fiddling with his gun. You going somewhere? Changing my question, finally yielded a response.
間抜けな質問だな。
Oh.
コロニーを襲いに行くに決まってる。
Oh. By a colony, do you mean my home colony? Theta?
俺はあそこしか狙わない。
Hyuga's answer left me shaken. True. How can I make him reconsider? I doubt he'll listen to an appeal from me. But now that I know what he's got planned, I can't just stand by and watch him do it. I stopped hesitating. I'll go with you. Hearing the words out loud made me wonder if I'd made the right choice. What could I hope to accomplish by going with him? But if I stay here, I won't be able to do anything at all. At least the opportunity to help the colony might present itself. Take me with you, please. I stared at him with firm resolve. Hyuga peered at me through narrowed eyes.
それで行ってどうするつもりだ？まさか一緒にコロニーを襲うなんて言うわけじゃねえよな。
Yeah, this game has some pretty good musics. I wouldn't trash it, just...
はっきりしねえやつだな。
Well, okay, that was the wrong.
それで
Of course not. Of course I'll not trash it. Of course not.
ならどういうつもりだ？お前はもうブルームズじゃないはずだ。ああ、ヒーローお得意の弱者を守るっていうお高い志か？
His words were thick with mockery. I felt the urge to snap back. I may not be part of the Blooms anymore, but I was born and raised in Theta. Why wouldn't I want to protect its people? We don't need a reason to help others, it's just human nature. For a fraction of a second, a hint of emotion flickered in Hyuga's eyes.
人間か。くだらねえ。よくそこまで義理立てできるな。まさかお前がシータを守ろうとしたからってあの連中がお前に感謝するとでも思ってるのか？言っておくが、俺たちと行動を共にした時点でシータの連中にとってお前は敵と認識されるんだぞ。
Kiki. Meow. What are you doing? Oh, you're here to tell me it's time to go to bed soon.
Oh yeah.
自分を敵と思う連中をかばおうってのか。実際に憎しみをぶつけられたらお前は本当に連中をかばい続けようと思えるのか？お前にそれだけの覚悟はあるのか？
You speaking from experience here?
He pummeled me with questions I couldn't answer. What he's saying makes sense. Once I'm seen with Hyuga, it won't be easy to convince the Blooms I'm still on their side. But even if they do wind up hating me, I can't stand by and let innocent people get hurt. I just can't. Even if they decide to turn against me, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
案外向こう水だな。
Just as I was about to give up, Hyuga turned his back and started walking away.
ついてくるなら勝手にしろ。だが邪魔をするならお前も殺す。
Oh my.
Hyuga's cold threat was delivered so smoothly, I felt my blood turn to ice. No, I can't let a threat like that intimidate me. I've got to follow him. Hyuga started to head out to Tau. Some nearby vectors began following him, even though he never gave the order to do so. I quickly transformed and hurried after, determined not to be left behind. And that is where we're gonna have to call it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to call it here. Because I do have work. I do have work tomorrow. So I gotta go be in bed at a normal time. I know, but it was the perfect spot to stop. So we'll have to figure out what happens when we go with Hyuga to Theta next time. Yeah, I got work. But yeah, thank you everybody so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's I love streaming. I'm glad to be back streaming. So let's pop over here. Alright, well, you all know the usual song and dance. Is it a Shirley? That's the normal size. Oh, Friday's a holiday? Is it? What's on Friday? What's on Friday? Oh, it's Veterans Day. Oh. I don't think I get that day off. I'll be honest. Don't think I get that day off. Yeah. Hey, I love streaming. I love being here with y'all. This is great. I'm excited to be back in the Otomes. We're back to our roots. Woo woo. But yeah, that is all the time we have for today. You all know the usual song and dance. If you're not already following me on social medias, I'd appreciate it if you would. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful meowing afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. Thank you all so much for stopping by. And well, without any further ado, bye bye.